play?
Sure.
I call blue. I guess I'll be red then. Yes. I am feeling very blue. Good game.
Hi! Welcome to episode 6 of the Fireside Storytime chat hosted by the Sheboygan County Historical Society and Museum. My name is Angie Hullen, and I'm the Education Program Developer at the museum. These are my helpers, my son Adlai and his pal Blue Jay. Hello. And my son Jory and his pal Turkey.
Hi, everybody.
Congratulations on your win in Candyland. Before we begin reading our story, we want to give some shout outs to some special people who are watching today. Is there anyone you want to say hi to?
Hi, Eli and Simeon.
Hi, Graham, and happy birthday, Leah.
Hi, Martin and Elizabeth. Hi, Raymond and Lily. Hi, Bella and Luke.
Hi, Calvin, Anya, and Caroline.
Hi, Oscar, Damien, and Agnes. Hi, Anakin, Owen, F, Eric, and Zoe. Hi, Austin and Parker.
Hi, Lotus, Patchouli, Yarrow, and Hayes.
Hi, Ellie, and hi, Quinn. Hi, Bentley and Camden. Hi, Elise. Hi, Caitlin and Amy.
Hi, Saria.
Hi, Isaac and Roman. Hi, Carter.
Hi, Garrett, Austin, and Sophia.
Hi, Benji and Andrew. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, Eric and Chance.
Hi, Amelia.
Hi, Helena.
Hi, Brooklyn.
Hi, Kieran, Lacey, and Callan.
Hi, Liam and Morgan.
We're so happy that you joined us today for story time. If you didn't hear your name today but you want to hear it next week, just let us know in the comments and we'll be sure to give you a special hello. The story that we're going to be reading today is called Wynken, Blynken, and Nod and Other Bedtime Lullabies. These are poems that were actually written 130 years ago by an author named Eugene Field.
Wow.
And then 100 years after that, an illustrator named Bob Petillo put them into a book with his drawings. So it was written by Eugene Field, illustrated by Bob Petillo. And the publisher of this book in 1989 was the Unicorn Publishing House.
Wow, 130 years, that's a long time.
130.
130 years old, the poems in this book
That's
are.
older than anybody living on Earth.
That's true.
Fact.
Let's check them out. Wynken, Blynken, and Nod, and other bedtime lullabies. Poems by Eugene Field, and this book was illustrated by Bob Petillo. Wynken, Blynken, and Nod. Wynken, Blynken, and Nod one night sailed off in a wooden shoe, sailed on a river of crystal light into a sea of dew.
Where are you going and what do you wish?
The old moon asked the three.
We have come to fish for the herring fish that live in this beautiful sea. Nets of silver and gold have we,
Said
Wynken.
Blynken.
and Nod.
The old moon laughed and sang a song as they rocked in the wooden shoe, and the wind that sped them all night long ruffled the waves of dew. The little stars were the herring fish that lived in the beautiful sea.
Now cast your nets wherever you wish, never afeard are we.
So cried the stars to the fishermen three,
Wynken.
Blynken.
And Nod.
All night long their nets they threw to the stars in the twinkling foam. Then down from the skies came the wooden shoe, bringing the fishermen home. 'Twas all so pretty a sail, it seemed as if it could not be. And some folk thought 'twas a dream they'd dreamed of sailing that beautiful sea. But I shall name you the fishermen three,
Wynken.
Blynken.
And Nod.
Wynken and Blynken are two little eyes, and Nod is a little head, and the wooden shoe that sailed the skies is a wee one's trundle bed. So shut your eyes while Mother sings of wonderful sights that be, and you shall see the beautiful things as you rock in the misty sea, where the old shoe rocked the fishermen three,
Wynken.
Blynken.
And Nod.
The next poem is called The Gingham Dog and the Calico Cat. And I have sometimes read that this poem is called The Duel, meaning a fight. The gingham dog and the calico cat, side by side on the table sat. 'Twas 12:30, and what do you think? Nor one nor the other had slept a wink. The old Dutch clock and the Chinese plate appeared to know as sure as fate there was going to be a terrible spat. I wasn't there. I simply state what was told to me by the Chinese plate. The gingham dog went, "Wow, wow, wow," and the calico cat replied, "Meow." The air was littered an hour or so with bits of gingham and calico, while the old Dutch clock in the chimney place, up with its hands before its face, for it always dreaded a family row. Now mind, I'm only telling you what the old Dutch clock declares is true. The Chinese plate looked very blue and wailed,
Oh dear, what shall we do?
but the gingham dog and the calico cat wallowed this way and tumbled that, employing every tooth and claw in the awfulest way you ever saw. And oh, how the gingham and calico flew! Don't fancy I exaggerate. I got my news from the Chinese plate. Next morning, where the two had sat, they found no trace of dog or cat, and some folks think unto this day that burglars stole that pair away. But the truth about the cat and pup is this: they ate each other up. Now what do you really think of that? The old Dutch clock, it told me so, and that is how I came to know. Now this poem is called The Sugar Plum Tree. Have you ever heard of the sugar plum tree? 'Tis a marvel of great renown. It blooms on the shore of the Lollipop Sea in the garden of Shut-Eye Town. The fruit that it bears is so wondrously sweet, as those who have tasted it say, that good little children have only to eat of that fruit to be happy next day. When you've got to the tree, you would have a hard time to capture the fruit which I sing. The tree is so tall that no person could climb to the boughs where the sugar plums swing. But up in that tree sits a chocolate cat, and a gingerbread dog prowls below. And this is the way you contrive to get at those sugar plums tempting you so. You say but the word to that gingerbread dog, and he barks with such terrible zest that the chocolate cat is at once all agog, as her swelling proportions attest. And the chocolate cat goes cavorting around from this leafy limb unto that, and the sugar plums tumble, of course, to the ground. Hurrah for the chocolate cat! You see all the candies falling from the tree?
Bet Turkey and Blue Jay would love this.
There are marshmallows, gumdrops, and peppermint canes with stripings of scarlet or gold, and you carry away of the treasure that reigns as much as your apron can hold. So come, little child, cuddle closer to me in your dainty white nightcap and gown, and I'll rock you away to that sugar plum tree in the garden of Shut-Eye Town.
Turkey did get his candy eventually.
Hey, Turkey and Blue Jay.
What?
Did you know when the game of Candyland was first invented in 1948, it was during a disease epidemic similar to the one we're in now? It was created by Eleanor Abbott when the United States was in the middle of a polio outbreak. Eleanor was sick with polio, and as she was recovering, she spent time in a section of the hospital where many children were also recovering from polio. She was a retired teacher, and she came up with the idea for Candyland as a way to capture the children's imaginations and give them a way to spend their long hours in the hospital. There were many more children who were also quarantined at home, and the game was a welcome addition to their activities at home as well. Have any of you played board games during your time at home? I was curious to see what I could find out about the history of Candyland in Sheboygan, so I looked in the newspaper archive at newspapers.com and found the first article that I found was from November 23rd, 1955, and it mentions Candyland as a game that caters to the recreational needs of the increasing number of families with 3 and 4 children. Let's remember, 1955 was right then in the baby boom. Here's an ad I found from 1959 for the H.C. Prangy Company, which was right downtown in Sheboygan. And this ad mentions that they are selling Candyland for 69 cents. By 1971, the price of Candyland had gone up to $1.99, as we can see in this holiday ad from Evans. Now, this is when there was still an Evans store in Sheboygan on North 8th Street. In this 1982 ad for Prangy Way, which was the bargain store version of the H.C. Prangy Company, you can see that the price of Candyland has now gone up in the intervening 11 years between 1971 and 82. The price went up to $3.99. When you think of candy and Sheboygan County history, you might also think of these people. The Cordettes were a group of singers from Sheboygan who became very famous, and Lollipop was one of their biggest hits. Carol Bushman, one of the Cordettes, pictured second from left on this album cover, still lives in Sheboygan today. If you're looking for a project to do at home and you're feeling kind of crafty, or even if you're not feeling crafty but you don't mind a little bit of mess, here's another candy-related activity that you could choose to do at home. If you have some leftover candy from certain holidays that didn't get eaten for whatever reason. This is our quarantine candy house, and I call it that because we actually used as our base for the house some school lunch quarantine milk from the free school lunches that are being handed out during Safer at Home. So if you look closely at the side of our house, you can notice that it's made out of graham crackers and that it mimics the shape of the milk carton because we did actually use milk cartons as the structure for our house. So that could be a fun thing that you could do, or just set your kids free and see what they can come up with. Thank you for joining us to read Wynken, Blynken, and Nod on episode 6 of the Children's Fireside Storytime Chat. Grown-ups, if you are interested in your own Fireside Storytime Chat, I will be doing one tomorrow evening, Saturday, May 16th, on Facebook at 7 p.m. So you can look forward to learning more about Eugene Field and his famous family member that had a connection to Wisconsin. So with that, thank you for joining us. And we hope that we will see you next week, Friday, at 3.
Bye.